Well, there's a true story of this, and it comes from the sinking of the Titanic, where this frightened, very wealthy woman found her place in a lifeboat that was in line to be lowered into the freezing water. When all of a sudden she thought of something, she remembered, something that she needed. So she asked for permission to return to her stateroom. And she had to do this really quick before they were to cast off. And she was granted 3 minutes, or they would leave without her. She ran across the deck, raced through the gambling room with all the money that had been thrown over to one side. She came to her stateroom, quickly pushed aside all of her diamond rings, the one-of-a-kind necklaces and bracelets, and as she reached into the shelf, she grabbed small oranges and stuffed them in her pockets, carried them in her arms, and she quickly found her way back to the lifeboat just in time before they were to cast off. Small oranges that she would share with her other boat mates, and they were all very grateful. Now that seems incredible because 30 minutes earlier, she would not have chosen a crate of oranges over the smallest diamond. Being on the brink of death had transformed her values. She was living in what matters. Instantly, priceless things had become worthless. Worthless things had become priceless. And at that moment, she preferred small oranges to a crate of diamonds. You see, there are life events. And in these life events, they have the power to transform the way that we look at the world, where where mere things no longer have the value that maybe you once put on them, but rather the love of family, of friends, of pets are worth their weight in gold. Today, I want to talk about the perspective of extreme gratitude. Not just the kind of gratitude where you thank the cashier for packing your groceries, and that's important too. I'm talking about the kind of gratitude that puts you in an energetic frequency, a vibration that actually calls forth the miraculous, and where you have the lens, the eyes, to notice those miracles when they come through. My friends, gratitude creates a portal through which grace comes into your life in the most miraculous ways. Now, how does it do that? Well, as we know, gratitude is a feeling, right? And all feelings are energy that we emit. And it's the job of the universe to match that energy. Grouchy thoughts, unhappy attitudes, and declarations of life sucks, all feelings, which keeps the good that the universe wants to give you locked. When you focus on all the greatness, all the good, and you are grateful for it, then the universe just wants to give you more. That's just law. That's why gratitude is the portal through which more goodness can come through. For example, when you were young, a tree wasn't just a tree, was it? It was the earth reaching itself up into the sky, extending its branches to the sun so you could climb up higher to the sky. And the wind blowing through its leaves felt and sounded like a standing ovation, and you accepted. Or the flowers weren't just flowers. They were splashes of color and aromas that was a feast for the soul. Children naturally see the wonders and the magic of the world. They appreciate the delight and the goodness that they see. And then the outer world comes creeping in, conditioning us to maybe see with a different perspective, conditioned through the lens of lack and limitation, and seeing things in a certain way. And the magic of our perspective just kind of fades away. Did you notice that? Therefore, we need to retrain ourselves to have a different perspective. You see, gratitude allows you and me to perceive beyond the surface of things. It invites you to find appreciation in the unexpected twists and turns of life. The other day, a friend of mine who lovingly, from a great heart, because I was born on Thanksgiving Day, and she said, "Oh my God, the timing of your mom's passing, you're going to have your birthday and Thanksgiving it's going to be so hard for you." And I almost got plugged in. And then I said, "You know what, can I offer you a different perspective? Just a different perspective. I'm not going to focus on what I don't have. I am so grateful that I have had 65 years of a beautiful relationship with her. I am focusing on the great blessing that she has been for me. And she continues to be. She's very closer than I was before. And I'm deeply grateful." Gratitude is a perspective. It allows you to see ordinary things as extraordinary, where you see the world not as a serious endeavor, but as a delight to the soul. Bottom line, gratitude just raises your vibrational frequency. And when you raise your frequency through gratitude, you have a direct connection to the source of all good. Many people, not Unity students like yourselves who study the divine, just want you to know, but many people gripe about what they don't have. And that directs them into a not having state of mind. So what are they going to get? An experience of not having. Simple. My friends, pay attention, because not everything that you are thinking is useful. Not everything that you're thinking is useful, just saying. And if you have a constant identification with things you don't want, you get more of what you don't want. We've all done that. We've all been there. But do me a favor, if you will. Do me a favor. When you are focused on the things that you don't have, shift your perspective. Stop. And think of everything that is going right in your life, because I got to tell you, there's a lot that's going right in your life, and be grateful. There's this man that maybe you have heard of, Nick Vujicic. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was born without arms and legs, and he's probably the most grateful person I have ever seen. And so here's a clip that I would love for you to see.
I wasn't ready. I have no arms and no legs, but I'm very thankful that I have my little chicken drumstick here. People freak out when they see me for the first time. It's so cool. I was at a water slide all by myself. Everyone obviously at the bottom of the slide is looking up and waiting for other people to come down, and here I come and they're freaking out. They're like, you know, like this. And I was so tempted to look at myself and go, what happened? You know? And there were times where I sort of looked at my life and thinking, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. And you keep on concentrating on the things that you wish you had or the things that you wish you didn't have. And you sort of forget what you do have. And there's no point, I believe, in my life where I wish I had arms, legs, I wish I had arms, legs, I wish I had arms, legs, because wishing won't help. But what I've seen in life are just a couple key principles, and the first thing that I've seen is to be thankful. It's hard to be thankful, man. I tell you, when I was 8 years old, I sort of summed up my life and thought, I'm never going to get married, I'm not going to have a job, I'm not going to have a life of purpose. What kind of a husband am I going to be if I can't even hold my wife's hand? It's a lie to think that you're not good enough. It's a lie to think that you're not worth anything. Oh boy. Woo! It's freezing, I can't feel my hands. I love life. You know, so many people come and say, how come you smile so much? And I'm like, well, it's a long story. But it's very simple at the same time. You see, it's very hard to smile sometimes in life. There are things that happen that you don't know and you don't understand, and you don't know if you're going to get through it. You know, you go through your storms in life and you don't know how long this storm's going to be. And today I want to share with you some principles that I've learned in my life that you can use in yours. Being patient is beautiful. I tell you, it's the hardest thing. But I realize I may not have hands to hold my wife's hand. But when the time comes, I'll be able to hold her heart. I don't need hands to hold her heart. You know, it is scary to know how many girls have eating disorders. It is scary to know how many people are just angry at life because of their situation at home and angry at others. It's scary to know how many people actually feel like they're worth nothing. Every single girl right here, right now, I want you to know that you are beautiful. You are gorgeous just the way you are. And you boys, you're the man.
My friends, ask yourself, what perspective can I see in my life, in my world right now? And is your perspective helpful to your overall well-being? Is your perspective adding to peace on earth? The other day, someone sent me a video clip of an all-female talk show. I'm not going to say which one it was, because they like their division as their daily agenda. And they were asking and suggesting people not to go to Thanksgiving with anyone that may have voted opposite them. I want to offer a different perspective. I believe Thanksgiving Day is about gratitude for all the goodness that God has given each one of us, not politics. And actually, I love the contrast that we're offered on planet Earth. I love that we have this contrast of, okay, this is what it is, let's rise to a higher level. Because here we see in the outer world that we can, if we choose, to look through the lens of division and limitation. Where the outer world is saying, don't be grateful for that family member who has loved and adored you all your life because they voted opposite you. Don't be grateful for your country that has given each one of us freedoms that many countries don't have. It's a trap, my friends, and don't fall for it. That's not who we are as Unity students. In Unity, we're all inclusive. In Unity, we love and accept all. Align with your higher nature. Rise to the soul perspective. Rise to the 5D, the fifth dimensional perspective, where none of that stuff even exists. And be grateful for the source of all good. Gratitude transcends limitations of the ego. Now, that being said, probably a good practice for self-care. Don't go to a gathering where everyone just hates your guts. I would just say, don't do that for yourself. That may be walking into a lion's den, right? But this is family. Back to what is important. Live in what matters. In 1985, there was a comedian that came onto the scene. He and his family came to the United States in the comedian became more popular in 1985, but he and his family came into the United States in 1977, and they were so proud of becoming American citizens. He became famous because not only was he funny, he was very funny, but he also, or we as a country, had never really seen anyone defect from the former Soviet Union, from behind the Iron Curtain. Some of you might remember him. His name is Yakov Smirnoff. And he's talking about Thanksgiving in this video.
It's Thanksgiving, and I'll tell you, it's my favorite holiday. I like parades without missiles. I'll take Bullwinkle over a tank anytime. Now, when I first was explained about Thanksgiving in America, I said, wait a minute, it doesn't make sense. I mean, for every freedom and all the opportunities that you got here, the only thing you got to say is thanks. It just didn't seem like it was enough. My parents and I had our first Thanksgiving dinner in a little apartment in New York. And we joined hands, and my father said a prayer to good food and our health. And then something happened. Instead of releasing our hands, we couldn't let go. We kept holding on to each other tighter and tighter, and we realized we were together and we were free, really free. And here we were, 3 grown people, looking for a way we could possibly show our appreciation, and we couldn't. Now I know what it is. It's thanks. Good night.
Sometimes express extreme thanks. It's just a deep feeling. It's the mother of all emotions. It is a perspective of great goodness. My friends, Thanksgiving is coming up. And maybe you can look at those priceless things in your life. Look with a different perspective and allow that deep and transforming power of gratitude to just wash over your heart. And may you experience gratitude in a way you've never experienced it before. Let gratitude be the portal of great happiness and a greater good in your life. And may the good things of life be yours in abundance, not only for Thanksgiving, but throughout the coming year. From my heart and from Reverend Temple's heart, we are grateful for you, each one of you. We see you as God sees you, a beautiful child of the Most High. And so we say, God bless you and happy Thanksgiving.